So to start off, who are you guys and what club do you represent?
It's Paul Caron. I help out with the backs and anything skills, and I've also helped with the attack for Lemont White this year.
I'll go next then. I'm Giovani Douyon. I play wing for Atlanta Old White.
Francesco Balsas, head coach for Atlanta All White.
How would you describe your team's style of play?
I can jump into this. I think we have a super dynamic style of play. We have foundational um, piece that we like to work off of, but when the rugby starts to get a bit more open, we train very much that style. So we have the ability to play open, free flowing rugby, but we like to set our foundations and have some sort of structure we can fall back onto. But I think the one of the most exciting parts of this team is that at any position, all of these guys know how to play the basic, fun, free flowing rugby, and that's what makes us so dynamic. So that's how I would describe our style of play.
Francesco, going off that, you mentioned that kind of, or we mentioned that freestyle, kind of that free flow. How do you work within your game plan to kind of accommodate that?
Credit goes to all the coaches as well. We do have a structure, but the structure only goes to a certain point. Once you bring it to defense, we like to free fall the ball, and just keep pounding at the door in our opponent. So in order to do that, we just playing rugby. I guess our philosophy as coaches relies on, pattern. It's important. Structure is important, but once you break into a defense, the purpose of pattern has been accomplished, and after that, it's just play rugby. If you have a space in the back, kick the ball. If you guys space out wide, send the ball out wide. If you don't have a space, generate one, but never let your foot out of the pedal. Keep pounding at the doors in our opponents, and that's the style that we have. We have a expanded. We have kind of expanded, expansive sort of playing rugby, and when the holes are not on the outside. We're trying to generate our own holes in the middle of the field.
For the players, what does the season look like for your team?
Yeah, so I'll take the start on this one. This season has been a lot of adversity, I'd say, especially compared to last season. We've really honed in on our identity as a team. We've had guys coming in and out just for personal reasons and what have you, but we've actually been able to put together a full season. We've had a lot of really close matches this year, a lot more than we had in previous years, and it's helped us immensely. I think this past Gulf Coast Regional showed like when we're all on and we're going, we're pretty hard to stop, and that wouldn't have been the case if we hadn't have gone through all the adversity that we went through early in the season. So yeah, for that's what it's like.
For you, Gio, what does it mean for the team to be back at nationals after winning last year? What does it feel like to be back?
It's an opportunity for us to show that last year wasn't just a fluke. In my personal opinion, it's very exciting. The buzz that's around the team, the confidence that the team has, the trust that we have in one another. I think that what we've been able to achieve this year, despite all the adversity that Daemon mentioned, it's brought us a lot closer together. And with that, we've been able to discover that we still have another level to achieve, right? So we last year we scratched the surface, and then this year we got to dig deeper into it.
I think there is something to be said about having that level of adversity because it's one thing if you blow out teams, 69 nothing and things like that every game. I don't know how much it teaches you about yourself. To have those close games earlier in the season, I'm sure really helped build that bridge even stronger.
It really did. It really did. So I think that Gulf Coast was a culmination of all of that we went through earlier on in the season. And who knows where we would have been had we not been through all those things, right? So I think that those were tests that we needed to go through in order to really bring us closer together and really get us to understand, like, hey, we have something special here, and we don't want to. What's what I'm looking for here? We don't want to waste that. We don't want to miss out on building something that we can all be proud of and look back on and be like, yo, we really did do this, and be able to repeat that over and over again. We're not going to sit here and let the moment go by.
for coaches, being back at nationals, of course, this time it's not a new experience for you guys. You kind of had, had that experience. You won last year. How do you continue to prepare for something like this?
I have I think a good answer to this is I think winning last year almost makes this season harder because not because of the expectations, not because like, oh, we have to live up to that, but because people think they're too good all of a sudden. And I think a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches, even are taking the season maybe a little bit easier and thinking that it's going to be just an easy path again to nationals. And I'm glad we had all this difficulty in the front end because it kind of woke us up. And I think the best way to handle any of that is to realize that you can't master the simplest things. And if we just keep trying to get better at the most basic building blocks of rugby, then your team will continue to improve regardless. And it's a nice way to kind of reset the defaults of what we need to work on before assuming we're the hottest shots in town and we're going to win another national championship, because by no means do any of these teams, super regionals or the semis or the finals, let you just walk all over them. So I think it's even harder, not because of the expectations, but because we need to re-lower our expectations and build it up from the bottom.
What makes your club special off the field?
Poncho?
Oh yeah, what makes the club special off the field? I think that there's at any club or any big group of people, you are not always going to have 30 players who get along together. You're going to have a special, groups that they go have lunch and dinner and their families are friends and so on. And I think that we have a lot of those groups actually in our club, and especially in this team. But it makes it special off the field. We travel, for example, to super regionals, and we travel with the depth that we needed, and the depth that we needed came from D3, from players who this is the first appearance actually at these stances. I mean, stages. Although some of them did not see the field, they were contributing to the team, to the club in another quality other than player. When you say off the field, I think that it's all the work from the old boys that we have, from the coaches, that we don't do that on practice, so we don't do that actually during normal games, but putting extra hours and extra effort. Paul, for example, he attends our players whenever they get injured, whenever they have an emergency or so on, and that's what he does for a living.
So it is one thing that is special. As you mentioned, rolling that deep is great. I mean, as you know, there's a 28-man roster, and a lot of times there's a 35 player pool you can choose from. And I think a lot of clubs a lot of people don't realize how deep those impact players are, even if they might not see the field. It might be them holding the water, holding the bags. And I think that really contributes to a team's success.
I'll go so far as to say, sorry, Francesco, to cut you off. I'll go so far as to say that we are by far the deepest team out of any team, D1, D2, D3. I think that we've all really bought into the system 40 deep, and almost any of those 40 guys could step on the pitch and do a job for us. It's just how the club culture has been built by Francesco and by Paul, and it's something that's really, really exciting for us as Atlanta Old White, and not just us, but also like USA Club Rugby and USA Rugby in the South.
When Francesco and I every weekend have to make difficult decisions on whether Damo or Gio are starting because there is the next best player competing against them during training, and that happens when I say every week, I mean every week, and Gio's fighting for his spot every week, so it keeps people sharp, it makes people work hard at practice, makes people show up to practice, and it really makes people buy into the process. So I think we're lucky, and all credit to Francesco for creating such a wonderful environment for that to happen over and over.
You don't have to lie, Paul. They're gonna hate that. I mean, it's obviously
yeah. He's actually sitting right over there with a gun to my head.
Yeah. You better say that. You better.
So, question for Gio. I see a lot on social media that you're not just here to participate. Can you share a little bit more about that sentiment?
Really, just the mentality that we've done all this work to get back to this stage, and the goal is winning. So we're not just here when we say that we're not just here to participate, we're saying that we're not just here to be here, right? It's the fact that we're not going to stay complacent about the fact that we already won it one time, and that the goal is to win a second time. And so that's kind of been the mantra for the team the last few weeks is that, our goal is we want to go back to back. And that means that all this work that we've done, all the practices that we've had, all the traveling that we've done has led us to this moment. And the moment is not just, okay, great, we made it to nationals again and we're done with it. The goal is we want to win another chip. So we've been carrying that with us these last few weeks because that's what we envisioned for ourselves and that's what we were working to.
Last question before I let you guys go. Francesco, what is one word to describe this club this year?
Tacos. I love tacos. um, greed. Greed will be the word. Not just greed because we want to compete for another national title. I think that our culture relies on always show our best, regardless of who we play. And then as a consequence, you may get a reward, which is going to be a trophy. But our goal is, yes, of course, we want to win another natty, but our culture, our goal, our objective is to play our fullest at every match. That's why we don't have 15 guys, 15 starting guys. We got 28 or 30 guys. We think about the entire weekend, not just only for 80 minutes. And that's grit. I think that's the word that simplifies actually this team.
And that's spelled Grit. Just in case, some translational error.
I just want to say I wish you guys a lot of luck this weekend. I'm very excited to catch the games, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Sumo. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Sumo.
Look forward to seeing you.
Legend.